It's time for Murder Moose! Oh, fuck. I'm attached to that cable. Hey, Rod! Continues back!
She is!
Oh, frick. I got a thingy in my face. Okay, I'm going to be all official right now. Okay, this is a podcast, episode 108 of Murder Moose Podcast, part of the Slash and Cast Podcast Network.
It's in the game.
Yeah! This week we're talking about VHS 99.
Yes. I don't even know if I ever tweeted that. If that's the case, my bad. I'll tweet it out later.
And I still didn't watch VHS 88. Is that the one?
94.
94. And this girl I know is in the movie, and I still didn't watch it. I'm like, what the fuck? I feel bad now.
That one's real good, too. You should check it out. It was more serious than this one, though.
This one was punk rock.
Yeah.
The first one, I think I've only watched like the first two other than this one.
There are 5 total.
I
So
just
there's
love that
VHS
it's
1,
a
2,
thing
3,
that
and-
is... It's like a platform for up-and-coming directors and filmmakers to like... Here we go. Here's your chance to show the world what you got.
Well, I mean, was it number 2? I think had the guy from the Raid 1 and 2 had that Indonesian segment in the second one that was like really good, and like you don't think of that guy as like a horror director, right? He's like done 2 like batshit crazy martial arts movies, and so you get up and coming, and you get people who are like talented filmmakers who want to dip their toes in horror. Like instead
and their balls.
And no, they dip their balls in the cocaine. We joking American Psycho or whatever. It's talking about dipping their balls in cocaine. So
I have no idea. That's just your normal Tuesday, right?
It's Monday. I don't balls and cocaine. No, that's every third Wednesday. That's what it is.
Are you able to taste the cocaine with your balls?
My balls can't taste anything. You
Lies.
think about that? You think
Lies.
about how bad it would. No, listen here. Because that would be like if your labia could fucking like taste things. You don't want that. There's like crazy shit happening down there. Literally crazy shit happening. But like.
There was a whole conversation last year about soy sauce and testicles. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know if I might not have been aware of that.
What? Wait, what just happened?
I don't know,
sorry.
Josh.
We're talking about VHS.
No, you're talking about exactly. No. You can't drop a line like soy sauce and testicles and then just go. No, we're talking about the
You're
the horror
speaking Rod's love language right now. So
yes,
There was a whole conversation about, at first it was that men could taste certain tastes. They would get the sensation like in their mouth, and like if their testicles were around it. But then it turns out that like it wasn't exactly the case.
Okay.
So people were dunking their testicles in soy sauce to find out. I don't have testicles.
So-
I'm not going to mansplain to you how testicles work, okay?
I have a question. So with HT, he only has one testicle now. So does he like? Does his one testicles tasting double? So like he could taste like he had 2 testicles, but he only has 1. Or is it like a phantom? Phantom limb, which, by the way, interesting thing I've heard recently. So trans women who get bottom surgery often get phantom itches for their missing testicles, which is the human body's crazy. Yeah.
If you when you have a testicle removed, and this is just speaking from him, him telling me. He had testicular cancer, so they had to take one of his testicles. He still has phantom testicle pain, and that was, or like feelings, and that was like almost 10 years ago.
My friend has 1 testicle because of the same thing. You can, I don't know if he was looking into it, and he told me he was looking into like they'll give you like a prosthetic one just so it evens it out. I don't know if he ended up doing it, but
most insurances won't cover it when you're over 18.
That's in America. I think it is covered in Canada.
That's true. You have real health care.
Yes,
you
we do.
have. We have extra supersized capitalism in America where nothing is free. That's it's funny they do that because they do that with you could do that with your dog. Like when you got your dog's balls cut out, you can put in fake testicles.
Really?
Like, yeah.
I went to school with a kid who had testicular torsion, and they ended up having to remove a testicle, but they gave him the prosthetic.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, it's basically like a ball, like a rubber ball. And I was like, that's weird. But
that's like, weird. That's weird.
I was like 12. I didn't know what testicles were really doing. Like, I knew that they were parts.
It reminds me of the South Park where Randy gives himself testicular cancer so he could get medical marijuana. And he's like, his balls are the size of those like big old things you bounce on. And he's like bouncing down the street on his balls because they're giant.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
And or you think of the 40-year-old virgin. They feel like a bag of sand. I don't know. That's what you thought of when you talk about a 12-year-old who doesn't know what balls are like, so.
Can I do a shameless plug really quick?
Of course you can. And it's not shameless because you're cool.
Thanks. Once a year, I host Gaming for Gonads. It is a fundraiser for the Testicular Cancer Society. We do a very large two-stream, 12-hour event, usually in April. Our goals are typically $10,000. So if you ever feel the need, let me know. We could talk about it. Also, check your testicles. Men's health matters.
Yes. See, Ken, that's not a you do cool shit for the world. And,
thanks.
I love it.
So
thanks for the platform, yo.
Fuck cancer.
Josh and I both have balls. We appreciate you, discussing testicles, and it's such a thing that that's your significant other's name, like in Chad's, it's like head testicles, right? So
I've lost too many people from cancer, so screw fucking cancer.
Fucking
in the butt
without lube.
Yeah.
Okay, we start talking like VHS, and then we've gone to testicles because testicles are awesome. But I want to say, how the fuck are you guys? How have you you been watching anything cool besides like obviously VHS 99?
You go, because I totally forget. I forget instantly after I watch anything. I fucking no. I watched Terrifier 1 so we can watch Terrifier 2 because it is a thing. We are going to be doing it, and I'm glad I did it because I can't wait to see the second one after the first one.
Yes. Nice.
I watched The Watchers, which I wasn't sure I was going to watch because that is like my entire phobia life in one show. In fact, I had people from the community messaging me and they're like, hey, we just watched the first 2 episodes of The Watchers. Do not watch that show. Don't. And I was like, why? Is it bad? And they're like, no, but you will not be okay. And I was like, fuck it, I'm fine. So I watched it and I was like, yeah, that was terrifying. But I know it's based on a true story. Yeah. And like, I know the story. So The Watchers, it's on Netflix.
That's the show about the because I saw, I think, a series of like YouTube videos about it or something, like the family that moved in and started getting letters like the day they moved in or something, like something insane like that, and like threatening them for years and years. And like
at first they start out like relatively calm, but then they get worse and worse and worse. And the show a lot, like, obviously embellishes a lot of it, but I don't know why there was an SH in there somewhere. But it was pretty good. I mean, it was pretty interesting. It makes me want to reread the history of it, like the actual history of it. So I think they had suspects in real life, but like they ended up selling the house, and then someone was trying to make money. I don't know, but it sounded like a nightmare, man. It sounded like someone got real fucked. It was just like on Long Island or something like that, right? Like where the houses are not cheap, and but. That whole thing seemed crazy. Yeah, they're doing a good job of, documenting those real things and then, altering them a little bit. But I mean, we're back to like young women fawning over Jeffrey Dahmer for some insane reason because of Netflix. So I mean, to be completely honest, I love Evan Peters. I think he's fabulous. He did a kick-ass job in that role.
Yeah.
But there's nothing... I think he does a great job of making him not appealing.
Yep.
And I think he also does a great job of not trying to pull your heartstrings like they did with the other Dahmer movie and Bundy and like the other Bundy movie and all the others. Like, I think that he did a really great job. But
I mean, the first thing I ever saw him in, and I think most people probably, was that first season of American Horror Story, and like the whole, with him being like the school shooter the whole time, and you're just like you hate that motherfucker, so like he does such a good job of making himself hateable at the end, and it's like so and then he's Ralph Boner, and now
you probably saw him in Scott Pilgrim versus the World too.
What was he in that?
He's like a young background actor.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I love that movie. I haven't watched it in a while, and I need to rewatch it because I love it. But
I introduced my nibbling to it because like they play guitar, musician, 16 years old, and I was just like, okay, I know you haven't seen this, but this movie was made exclusively for you, but 10 years ago. And you're welcome. And then they're like, oh my God, I've already watched it 10 times. Come over and let's watch it. And I was like, I told you. And now we've watched it together like 3 or 4 times and like play the music together. It's the best. It's seriously,
it's awesome.
It's one of my favorite movies ever.
It's such a pure movie, like, and goofy, and it's real. It's one of my favorites. It's always been one of my favorites just because I feel like that movie is special, so.
Edgar Wright is special though. Like he has the ability to create, I don't know, like because he spends so much time showing you what they're doing, and it's just this world building that he has the ability to do in all of his movies. I've rewatched his movies more than I think any other director's movies in the last decade.
I did the Coronado trilogy years ago at Alamo, and I was like, there are very few directors I'm going to sign up to go to a fucking theater for 3 movies.
Yeah.
But like he's like one of the few just because he's so fucking good. And that reminded me, because you go, Edgar Wright was supposed to do Ant-Man.
Yep.
And they just dropped the Ant-Man 3 trailer today. And it looks
I didn't
dope.
watch it yet.
I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah.
So is there still like Edgar Wright isms? I don't feel like the influence was there as much in the second one, but the first one, like it felt like an Edgar Wright movie.
It just went Edgar Wright, Ant-Man to that. That's how I transitioned. But no, I think just the goofy character of Ant-Man, which is, I think, just they were just like, Paul Rudd, be Paul Rudd. But
yeah.
Fair so enough. So it is wonderful.
No, you are wonderful.
You're wonderful. Are. Also,
you're both wonderful.
He's the villain in Creed 3, which just took Ezekiel _III's logo and made it their movie logo. If you look at Zeke's logo and then you look at Creed 3, it's just Zeke's logo. I'm like, I would get a fucking lawyer involved, even though I don't know. That'd be
why? Because they used Roman numerals. Like that's not a. He doesn't have a copyright or.
I don't know. It looks exactly the same red, everything.
But does he have it trademarked?
I don't know. Probably not.
You could go back to the Future Man debacle even if you wanted to.
Yeah. I heard that got him. I didn't know who Future Man was until I was talking with Zeke one day. And he was explaining that I hadn't heard of him. I followed him after that. He seems like a cool dude whenever I've gone over to his streams. But yeah, that fucking
that was wild.
Yeah, the show with
Josh Hutcherson.
Yeah.
I have it. I could be watching it, but I didn't. It looks interesting, but I haven't checked it out.
It was
it's like Future Man, who is a streamer on Twitch, still is, but it's his whole gimmick.
Yeah.
It's the show.
Yeah.
The whole character, world building, everything of this man's is that show.
and then everybody came after him for naming himself after the show that was out like 5 years after. And he's just sitting there going, "Are you kidding? Like, look at this timeline."
It has 2 seasons. Did it get more, or did it
got canceled? I think.
Got canceled because everyone was trying to cancel it.
No, they were trying to cancel the streamer because he named himself after a show that came 5 years after he had been.
I mean, he's future, man. So
he knew it was coming. God damn.
That was a rough time.
That's gotta be rough. He's just like, oh, fuck off.
You're like, someone just took my stream and I wonder, man. You have to wonder, like, if someone in Hollywood saw his stream and was like, "That's a good idea," and then you're just like, that would be the fucking worst.
He doesn't own any fucking trademarks. Yoink.
Yeah. Yep. And Hollywood is scummy enough to, this is gonna make me some money, even though it's a show on Hulu. But man, yeah, people will fucking kick you in the dick if it gets them over and whatever. So, yeah, as we saw from VHS 99, woohoo!
Just like the old lady on the couch.
Man,
she had to be on the poster. She's so cool.
Your poster is awesome. I need to actually go look at it on your website to see a bigger version of it, but you got a lot going on, and this film has a lot going on. So
that's why I did it. I made it as messy and punk rock, like old school, like zine, like the zines that you would see. That would be the only way you knew what show was happening in your city. The ones that people would go to like Kinko's and like make by hand and and like the zine, like magazines with like, that was the only way you knew what shows were coming. And if your band made it into the zine that week, you're like, fuck yeah, this is like the internet wasn't a fucking thing yet. And oh my God. So I did that with all the like, I don't know, like the aesthetics from the show. I loved the like game show, like almost like
Legends
Saved
of
by
the Hidden
Bell
Temple
and stuff.
It was like Legends of the Hidden Temple, and they took it and like made it like super fucked up with the.
Well, no, I'm not talking about the set. I'm talking about all the like art direction for the show itself. Like when he was on the blue and black spiral, I put that in the back of the poster, and like I look at art direction, man.
I look at if colors are pretty, Josh, but it's like
I'm an art director.
I know. I'm not.
It.
I barely know how to get myself dressed in the morning.
Yeah, but you look fantastic, Rod.
I mean, I do what I can. Josh. But I think this is like another good. I mean, we had VHS 94 came out last year, I believe.
Yep.
And like we got 2 in 2 years that like pretty high quality. And it's funny. I was saying before, I feel like 99 was more of had that a little bit of a lightheartedness to it. Like in the background, even one shit was kind of creepy as fuck, because there was some creepy as fuck shit in here, but it's
I want to
always
watch
had that
94 now, because like the girl I know was the newscaster. I don't know if
yes, in the rat segment with the giant rat man.
I have no clue. I haven't watched it, but yeah, that's the girl I know.
You would know the rat man. The rat man's been all over Twitter.
Oh yeah, well I made a poster and like
Rat Man was pretty dope. I thought they did like the little like Ratman reference at some point in this one. It kind of looked like Ratman, but I don't know.
This one was relentless, and it made you feel like a lot. Like they went to like they turned up the knob to on like the feeling of like movies, like dready. Ugh.
It reminded me of Creepshow. And that's what kind of like that lightheartedness of Creepshow, like as we're talking about it, like it's hardcore and got like hell demons, but then they like everything almost had something that was making me laugh. Like the hell demon lady, what's her name? I just had it pulled up.
It was dark humor like that, and that's totally like up our alley of what we. I was laughing a lot too, especially because like these types of movies, there's like low budget.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So
they embraced that.
Yeah, and they embraced it in this one, and this one felt more like movies that I've seen other like close friends or other like filmmakers my level make and stuff, which I love, and that's why I love that these movies exist to like, give. I would love to put my name in this hat right here and say, fuck, I want to do a segment for a VHS in my lifetime.
Yeah.
That would be sweet.
That'd be dope, dude.
That'd be dope.
The hell segment specifically was like a spirit Halloween, and like
dude, actually I just watched that. They made a movie.
Yeah.
Spirit Halloween.
Is it out yet?
Yeah, it's out. And it has Christina Ricci in it, I think.
It's like a kids movie, right?
Yeah, it's like a PG-13, and it's like in the store. It's on Plex, and
Isn't Doc Brown in it?
Yeah. It wasn't terrible, to be honest. Like, it wasn't amazing, but it's definitely like I had it on, and like I did like I don't know. I've been like watching a lot more like teen comedies and stuff, just like trying to find like what's new in the teen comedy world, because those are just like
Gotta
stupid.
stay hip with the cool kids.
No, they're just like popcorn throwaway movies that I learned something that I already knew after, type vibe. But I'm just like, they're easy, like to digest and easy to watch movies type thing, right? And they can even be really bad, but whatever. I watched this comedy horror movie called Cursed Friends as well, which wasn't. I don't know. Like, it's all in the same like realm of like, they're not great. They're not bad.
Those movies are like, I feel like if you have some likable characters, it makes it way easier to do. It's just like if you have a cool like villain in a horror movie, it makes like the script like requirements way less to like make a watchable movie, right?
Well, that one was about that game MASH, and it was like a cursed book of MASH. So like all the stuff that they wrote down was actually coming true.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That sounds unique.
Yeah.
Did you play MASH, Rod?
No.
Did you, Josh?
Yeah, I had two sisters, so like I did all the like all that stuff, right?
I am 8.5 years older than or 9 whatever years older than my sister. So like, yeah, didn't do any. By the time she was like a human, I was off in college and shit like that, So
yeah, that's big gap.
Yeah, you don't have that sibling thing. Like my brother was like 2.5 years younger than me. We were like, watching wrestling and doing, playing video games and shit like that. Not
suplexes off the couch.
Well, I mean, my little sister was the size that like we could like power bomb her and shit like that, like when onto beds and stuff like that. Never hurt her, but it was like we were all like late 90s WWE,
backyard wrestling,
WWF.
throwing chairs.
Yeah, throwing chairs, hitting each other. We hit each other with like cookie pans and shit like that. Stupid shit kids do, man.
Mankind shit. You going hardcore?
Mankind was always my favorite.
Yeah,
so.
I knew. I didn't even know it, but I knew it.
Yeah, you knew it because it lines up. It lines up.
Same here, man. But we're in Calgary, so we're always like Hart fans, like Bret Hart, Owen Hart, and when that whole like crazy shit happened with Owen Hart, like I remember where I was watching it with my friends and my friend's family, and then it just went black on the screen because he died fucking...
Yeah, in the ring, yeah.
In the ring, like, I was like, whoa, what just happened? Oh, shit.
That, and then Kane is now, like, Kin's mayor. Not Kin's mayor, but he's, like, the mayor of, Nashville, isn't he?
This is where I live is where wrestlers come to retire. Like they come to retire in Kodak most of the time, which is not far from where I live. So whatever they have like Fanboy Expo or anything like that. It's like every wrestler that's ever wrestled just comes out of the woodwork and is like, oh, yeah, that's right down the street. I can do that, I guess. You know, they all live out here. It's wild. There's also some retired baseball players out here, but yeah,
I think
mainly wrestlers.
Wants a good check of land for like a reasonable price, and then, you know, probably not want to be bothered very much, right? So
yeah, then they end up next door to somebody that they've fought their whole life and fought their whole life. Sorry, please don't get offended. Oh my god.
I don't know. Like my my ex's uncle is what's his name? Oh wow, I'm spacing so hard. Fucking
Josh told me at some point, but I can't remember.
Yeah, the Elvis guy. Fucking what's his name? I totally forget.
Oh,
I'm so bad.
Oh, Hanky Panky. No, what the fuck? Honky Tonky. That's what it is.
Honky Tonk Man, right? And and like his like rivalry with Jake the Snake is a real thing, but it's mostly because of like a whole bunch of other shit behind the scenes and like other shit that happened and stuff. So there's like a legitimate like hatred for one another in real life as well. So,
well, Jake the Snake was kind of a piece of shit for a really long time. I don't know if he's gotten better, but like he was real bad into those drugs, and then
I've heard a lot about a lot.
Yeah,
there's a lot of abuse of drugs and alcohol, and
that motherfucker also killed a bunch of snakes, man. Which I'm not cool with. Like he would like just like leave them in the back of fucking like rental cars, like at like, you know, motels and shit like that, and just would freeze snakes to death and shit like that. You madman.
You're a madman.
I am a madman.
Oh wait, I also checked out that I've been watching a lot actually, and that's why I said I don't know. I forget everything that I watched because you put me on the spot. That werewolf thing too by night.
Oh, I want to watch that.
Yes.
It's good. It's good for sure. Like I like the actors, they got to do everything. I hate feeling the Disneyified. Like I was like, this is so Disneyified, and I fucking hate that. Like there's so much that it could have like just shed. That like it feels like there's about to do something, and then it Disneyifies it and it hits a fucking wall, and I'm just like, ugh. Like you could have just went a little bit past that and it would have been a normal PG-13. This is like a Disneyified PG-13. There's like a cock block happening.
Well, you can't say Disney and cock in the same sentence. Now you're gonna get sued. Way to go.
Now fucking Mickey Mouse is coming after you and break your kneecaps.
But that's seriously how it feels, though, man. Like I'm glad that they own other properties and they're willing to, you know, let them breathe ish. Like I still feel a compression, not a full Disneyified on like some of the stuff. Like Hulu has pretty free reign ish, I guess. Like, you know.
I saw a thing the other day, and I've seen it a couple of times now, and it was like, if you're ever making a sex tape, make sure you put Disney music playing while you're fucking, because then they'll make sure C8 strike your point. Can you feel? Okay, Disney's coming for it.
What?
Disney, if you play any of their music in anything, they will fucking DMCA. They'll come after you for it. So the joke is that they'll like come after your porno if like anyone steals it and puts it online. So like you don't have to worry about everyone seeing it because Disney will cancel out your porno because it's playing Disney music.
It's like what they did on America's Next Top Model. Anytime that the girls wanted to be by themselves, they would sing copywritten music or like turn on a radio, and then that way they wouldn't follow them into the bathroom or, you know, whatever they were trying to do.
Oh, that's actually really smart.
Yeah.
I want to go do some cocaine. Play the Michael Jackson. Play just whatever is like the most like notorious for being like, you know, pulling that shit. Get yourself some privacy that way, right? God, we're off the rails more than ever tonight. I just want to comment, but that's okay.
No,
that's
we're
okay.
Not. You've only.
You sure?
I don't. Oh wait. What?
Where am I?
Wait, we're talking about movie? Okay, let's
we
do
are.
it.
Oh, a movie?
Yes. Okay.
Can I just say? Oh, go ahead.
No, you go. You go.
I just loved the suicide bid one so much.
Yeah.
I absolutely loved that one, and I also hated that one. It made me so uncomfortable. I never really had a fear of closed-in spaces until that moment, and I was like,
with the spiders?
Oh no, just the box in general. It reiterates my desire to be cremated on so many levels. Like
I was like, okay,
absolutely
until,
not.
Like, I hate spiders, and like,
yeah,
and claustrophobia is like, I can. That's one of the things that, if done well in film, I start to feel it physically as well. Like it doesn't give me like an anxiety or whatever, but I start to like kind of feel it, and I'm just like, oh. And then I do have a phobia of spiders. I don't like them. I was like, oh fuck, they're layering this fucking cake, and I hate it. I fucking hate this. But you're getting me like this, and I'm like, you're killing it. I fucking love it. And like, because that's, I think, one of my favorite ones of the whole movie as well. Is it had a lot of good characters, and just like shitty fucking people that you hate. Just, they're the fucking worst. They are the fucking worst. And
the hell one, I love the hell one. I love the hell one just because the
that one's the darkest comedy one.
Yeah, it's, I don't know. It's like when you do bonkers shit like that with like cool. Talking about Creepshow, like with Leslie Nielsen getting getting buried at the beach or whatever, with all the like all that stuff, and you're like the
Creepshow was just fun.
Yeah, I like the second one too. The parts of it I think I saw parts of it. I'm not sure if I ever saw all of it, but yeah. It has that, like I said, it has that lightheartedness even when this is like intense, which they do a good job of like doing being intense for most of these shorts, right? Yep.
I felt the dread or I don't know. Like, I feel like the first one, especially because I've met people like that. And there's shitty skid punk fucks like that I've legitimately met in real life that just have no regard for anyone and are tryhards. They're just trying way too fucking hard to be just skid shits, like skiddy shits. And I was kind of almost annoyed by that one, but the aesthetics of everything in it was so punk and influenced me so much on my choice of how to aesthetically make the poster look like that. I really liked the Medusa one. I thought that one was like creepy, well done, and like for the special effects and stuff, like budget wise, I don't know what they all had to work with, but I felt like they did a pretty damn decent job with with that one.
I think like the coffin, when you guys talking about like I think that I had my biggest jump when that fucking head came through the coffin.
It was awesome too.
Yeah.
The old, almost like poltergeisty looking like costume or whatever. I was like, that's dope. It looks so good.
It also kind of looks like the Creepshow monster. We keep talking about Creepshow, but like that, like the skeleton, kind of like more skeleton-y, like crypt keeper kind of thing, right?
It looked like something you could buy, and I want it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, like the thing that they probably spent the most money on for the whole thing was the Medusa hair. Like that was the only like real heavy CGI thing. The fucking Satan in the background looked like something from like After Effects or something like that.
Like, totally.
Which I think
I laughed, I think, the most in that one.
Yeah. I think that was my favorite, like overall, like I said, but they're all like, I like the game show one with the mom and the daughter had some real dark humor too, like with the little girl and all the shit they pulled to that, like with that guy at the very end, and you're just like, Oh yeah, because they have like that game show like atmosphere, but like with the fucked up shit happening on top of it, right?
I think that was the grossest one for sure.
Yeah,
it was very, very like. I have a very stupid question about that one.
What's up?
The end of that one, like. Yep. Heavy spoiler, but what exactly did she fucking wish for? I watched it twice, and like the only thing I can gather is just to kill everyone.
Yeah, well, her face kind of, that was it for me. Like, because she was just like, this smug, fucking creepy ass look on her face.
Well, it's like, did you ask like to kill everyone, or did you ask like the power to like do that? Like, did she, because it's a kid, right? So you're probably guessing she just probably asked for them all to be killed, but like what if she asked for like Raiden's powers, something Mortal Kombat? Like she becomes like the god of lightning or some shit like that, and she's the one who's like murdering them, like
murder moves
with her murder moves. Yes. I don't know. It was like that ending was a little goofy, like because you want to go like what exactly, because you would like to hear what she said, right? But that was supposed to be the surprise that like she said fuck. I mean, her fucking mom's like, remember to wish for $10 million in a new car. It's like,
a new car, because that was the 90s. Like that was the game show thing. Like they're trying to like make that, trope a thing in that one. They ramped that. That's the thing with like these segmented style movies is they turn up the gross as horror a lot more than they turn up like the scare factor of horror. It's usually like, we don't have a budget, let's make shit really gross and like not cut away. And like the ABCs of Death, there's like a few, like I don't think I even watched the second one because some of the like segments in that one were just like, this is like, I don't want to watch, like I don't know anyone that does want to watch this type of shit. It's not it's just it's gross. It's not cool.
ABCs of Death was also like, I made it through 3 or 4 letters. I think I'm like, this is not for me. Like it was like TikTok before TikTok, right? But with like just horror directors doing shit, because you have like 3 minutes or something like that. And I was like, I think
they got 7 minutes, but some of them were like the one letter that they like got it and they made a movie about not knowing. I was like, fuck off. Like, I've seen this at so many 48-hour film challenges. It's like, oh, let's just make a movie about making a movie and we don't know what to make the movie about, so we'll just make the movie about that. And it's like, oh my God.
Okay, Seinfeld.
Yeah, like, you show like everyone, duh. I'm like, I've seen that every single year. I've either been to, putting one of mine in or judging. I'm like, not that again. And to see that on ABCs of Death, I was like, oh my God, guys.
Isn't that just Letterkenny? They were like, hey, we really like Seinfeld, but we're Canadian, so we should do that. But no, we're gonna let the people say fucking shit and stuff also. Yeah. And like, so
I'm just glad that has a platform of any sort, because that show is awesome.
I love Letterkenny, man. I love it. I used to be fair, and like to be fair, that and all the Shorzy, all the insane things Shorzy says on the show. But yeah,
I haven't watched it in like. When is there a new season coming out of that? I think they're pretty soon.
I don't know. When I finished up, it was season 10. They'd done 10 seasons, and then
Holy
Shorzy.
Shit! What?
Yeah,
I can't believe they're already on 10. Holy shit!
I'm assuming they just shoot. I'm assuming they shoot a couple seasons at a time, because like 7 episodes like a season, you could probably shoot 2 or 3 seasons in a.
I was getting behind because they kept doing like the weird holiday ones. Okay, yeah, I don't even have all the seasons to watch.
Yep,
I got season
they're
9.
all on Hulu, but yeah, Shorzy is also worth watching, which is only 6 episodes, but. My wife was like, I hate that he's the same guy, because it's the one dude. So yeah, also plays Shorzy because he's like the writer or whatever. So yeah, they turn up the gross, and they also like gross out of like I mean, a lot of the gross in this one was the game show one, but like also the teenage boys being like creepsters and like spying on the Medusa was also like it made you feel yucky.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like it was like creepy. That was the creepiest one because of the creep shit that they were doing.
Yeah. I mean, they have like wasn't the one with in like VHS 1 or 2 with like the going back to the hotel room and like everyone thought they were gonna fuck and it was like vampire ladies or whatever.
Yeah, that one was good. I liked it.
Yeah, it's that same kind of thing. It's like that, like you're feeling uncomfortable because something feels off, and then, or even think about like Trick or Treat, right? And the werewolf one, right? So it's all like make you feel off, but then it's how they handled those expectations. Like you think she's in trouble, that whole Trick or Treat one, but she is not. She is the predator, not the prey. So yeah.
You are.
You are. You are. The one thing that I think my biggest problem with this whole 99 though was like the not really having a story connecting them. Like the whole like, the little brother.
I didn't like the stupid.
Yeah. So it like I'm not. Shit. This isn't a spoiling anything. VHS 99 has or 94 has like. It's a SWAT team goes into a building and that like connects all the stories because of what happens. And so you had that story that connects everything. And it just felt like the cheapest thing here. I was like, why you guys couldn't even like put something connecting besides
I feel like the only chord that was connecting them was the 2000, like rolling over to 2000. Like that seemed like the only connection whatsoever.
But like they weren't even like, I know that the one with the kids was like in August or something like that, or like, so like even then you're 4 months out, so like it's not like everything's happening on like New Year's Eve or anything, right? Like except for the demon one was because it was waiting for the millennia to roll over, right, for their ritual. But yeah, not that was the only thing that I was like disappointed by. I was like, because it was also hard. Like, I wasn't sure if they were going to do something with the band being like how they were going to connect everything, the fort, but then it was just the kid, you know? So
I don't know. Like, I think, I don't know, like the zany factor of the last one. Just like if they put it in a reverse order, it wouldn't have worked as well. Like because the first one I feel was it was a good like build up to what to expect because a lot of the films had the same kind of aesthetic choices in like the bad guy or the horror thing was like costume almost punk rocky in that like 90s aesthetic and the like zombie skeleton punk things from the first one kind of almost were reminiscent of that like skull looking demon
through
from
the coffin,
so like I liked that everything kind of looked like that. And then the Medusa thing, I think I'm just trying to think timeline wise of like when like the mythical movies like with Medusa and stuff were coming out. I think it was
like in the 50s, right?
Well, no, I'm talking about like the remakes started rolling out.
Oh, yeah,
kind of around that time. I was like almost like high school time.
Clash of the Titans and shit. I think that was more like
that was outside. That was like
mid 2000s, I think. But yeah, well, that was that whole weird. That was that weird phase where Hollywood for a second thought that Sam Rockwell or Sam, what's his name? Avatar motherfucker was like a movie star.
Rockwell,
and like, is it Rockwell?
Yeah.
Okay. And because he was in everything for like what, a 3 or 4 year, like it was like in the Terminator movies. He was in Avatar. He was in all that stuff. Like he had a period where you're like, this motherfucker's everywhere. Ken, what you were holding something back there? You looked like you had something you want to say.
Oh, No, I was actually just chewing on my hand. But
Okay.
I will say that I was just reading about that the Suicide Bid one, which I really liked, was also, I guess, written and directed by the same person that did the Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City movie.
Ooh.
It was kind of interesting.
I
thought that was kind of neat.
Man, there was so much to like about that movie, but then like it was just like it was boring. But
there was so much potential.
Yeah.
I feel like that whole franchise is just like kind of potential. I don't know.
I figure like making Resident Evil like the first game into a B horror movie would be so incredibly easy. So incredibly easy.
If they would just stick to it and do the puzzles, like there was so much fucking potential with Welcome to Raccoon City. Like if they would have just stayed with one game, but they were pulling from all across the franchise. Yeah. And like at first I was like, oh my God, I'm fangirling so hard. That's the police station. And then I was like, wait. What is going on here? And then they pulled a character out of like 5 and I was, what is going anyway, sorry. Yeah.
No,
I like Resident Evil.
I like it a lot
when
too.
7, 8, and 9 come out on movies, it'll be great.
But now that like Mila Jovovich and her husband aren't like collaborating together on them anymore, it's like I feel like there was a lot of like, heart and the ability to, as much as they were like not the greatest, there was still like I felt the heart and like the attention and love for the franchise when it was in their hands. So
yeah, I mean I liked the originals a lot, the original movies. I think that it was just a bad layering of things. Yeah. There was so much potential.
Yeah. I don't know how you make something I love so much so boring. I was like, how do you make zombies boring? And I know they're slow, but Jesus
whenever there's
Christ.
Like 7 movies in a franchise that it just spans so long, like can you tell me what Harry Potter, what things happen in, even if you're like a huge Harry Potter fan? Like actually no, I can't even say that because there's like a religion around that fucking franchise. But like let's put in like Pirates of the Caribbean movies. They're all the fucking same. I've seen them all, but can you tell me which one the fucking thing was like it's like one of 5 or 6. I don't know. And that's how I started feeling about the Resident Evil ones. I was like I've seen them. I liked a lot of them, but I was like trying to pinpoint like, oh wait, which one did they go to Vegas? That one was kind of cool. And then that was all 3 different movies. Yeah. Shit, I thought that was so I don't know.
It's a lot, man, and like the continuity and all the shit they throw together, it doesn't like line up. It doesn't like, and you're just like, whatever. I'm just gonna turn my brain off and watch slow motion crazy shit because that's what you were. The only thing that made me bad about those, I think we've talked about it before, like really is like as the further he got into it, the more jump cuts he did that just drove me fucking crazy. By that last one, that 6th movie, it's like jump cut, it like cuts every second and a half, and it's like it gives you fucking whiplash. You're sitting there going
just get some good one shot takes, like actually do the shit. I gotta say this is like a big month for horror. Did you have a chance to watch Halloween Ends? And if you did, what'd you think?
I liked it. I know a lot of people didn't like it, but I liked it. At first I was frustrated with it because I felt like it kind of was like overstaying its welcome and it was kind of cringy, but I liked it and I'm really curious to see what happens.
Yeah, we had a good time talking with Jerry about it, and we were all like, this is not perfect, but like we generally like the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre, like the Netflix one. We liked it and enjoyed it because it was fun. I feel like
they probably shaved off like they made it so just like a light snack, massacre, an actual massacre for the first time in the franchise. How could you be pitchforking against that fucking movie? Where again with this one, I don't understand the pitchforks. Like fucking put your pitchfork down. I would really be like if I was around when you guys talked about Halloween Kills, because I still like I have to rewatch it, but like I just felt like nostalgia porn was like being just forced down my throat. Whereas this one I didn't feel that way. I felt like they like backpedaled.
Michael killed everyone. They were supposed to be nostalgic about.
But also it was a character piece. It was a send off through characters rather than what they did in the second one. But I guess knowing it was an arc of 3 movies, it might have always been his intention, like almost do a requel, go to fucking town and get your dick in there on the second one, and then just leave.
You want it all the way up there. Like there's no shaft sticking out anymore. It's all the way up there.
Oh my god.
All the way up there.
My analogy. Now,
it was a beautiful analogy.
I want to actually, as we're sitting here, I want to Google the fucking budget of this movie, because we keep talking about somebody like the fucking set that the mom built in the game show one looked like they spent $150 at Walmart.
See, there was things about that one that felt like it could be like real, like the revenge, like, and that's what made it even creepier and scarier. It's like, you don't know the people that you're essentially fucking with this show. Like the whole Hollywood, like, you've signed a waiver. We don't actually care about your well-being. And like, like there could be people that would do this to you, like take you down. And it was creepy. There's a lot of creep factor to this.
Yeah. The mom is like the most believable person in the world, even if she's a little bit batshit crazy, because like they're sitting there they're sitting there going like laughing when her daughter's like leg is cracking in half, and then what the fuck happened to her leg? It looked like her leg turned into fucking blue cheese or something like that.
Oh yeah.
It was just like when the guy's arm breaks in the Medusa, or I never say her name right.
Medusa.
You added an L on there. It's just Medusa. That's all.
Medusa. It's just like how I grew up saying tortillas. Okay, you just stick L's wherever you feel like. But like
jalapenos.
Her leg, jalapenos. But like her leg broke like the kid whose arm, like when he got off the skateboard, and it just went. But hers like separated.
Oh.
Yeah. I still don't say Chipotle. Because I call it Chipotle constantly. It's Chipotle because of fucking South Park. So, and it's
Chipotle.
Chipotle.
Say it again.
It's Chipotle. Chipotle. It gets the blood stains out of your underwear, Josh. The more you know.
There's our. That's the only short going up this week.
Yes.
And the only cutaway too. I totally forgot again. This is this is way further in than usual that I remember.
Yeah.
I can edit.
It's usually about a half an hour in when you realize you could edit.
Yeah, it's been almost a fucking. Oh wait.
Yep.
Look at these sweet fades. Oh.
Yeah.
This is 90s. Oh, hey. Oh, hi.
It's funny that they don't like come out and go the budget, because I don't think. What do you guys think cost the most? Like the Medusa one, just from the CG in it, like, or like.
I would say the game show, because there was actual sets and like like all the other stuff, and like a lot more actors, I think, than and extras, and just like it felt more like an actual production. And the other ones felt like, a little more.
And as you're talking about that, I'm just thinking of the poop slide, and I'm traumatized.
It does. Yeah. Sorry, my brain had something. Okay, I got it now. It does remind, like all the others are like found footage, right? Like that's the whole thing. And like you could say that the game show one was found footage, but it definitely looked more like not found footage.
Yeah. It's always funny though, because like they're doing things because to make it like that style. But I was sitting there, I was like, motherfuckers are putting, you ain't going widescreen. This is like 4:3, man. This is like everything's in widescreen. I'm like, yeah, no, that wouldn't be it. Like those VHS cameras would be like 4:3. Everything would be 4:3. Like the TV, like the game show might be like not be because it's on television, but probably still is going to be 4:3. So it's like that's a little silly, but yeah.
So how, on a scale of 1 to 10, how bad did you want to go on? What? Why can't I think of the show's name? The one where
Double
they
Dare Guts,
oh my God.
Temple. What was it? The Legends of the Hidden Temple.
I wanted to do the video game one real bad when I was a kid.
Double Dare would have been awesome. No, I'm talking American Gladiator.
No.
The one where they like shoot the tennis balls at you at the end.
That's American Gladiator. Yeah. No, I'm talking about the one on Nickelodeon that had like you went out and played video games.
American Gladiator would have been so fun, man. I've always wanted to do American Gladiator.
I always wanted to do Guts.
Guts, yep. With the
Craggle Mountain or whatever.
Yeah.
In Canada, we had this game show that played. It was a local game show too, and it would be kids would go and sit in these like, I don't know, these like cars to. It was like Double Dare type show, but then the kids would win a pile of toys at the end. So it was like a mountain of toys, and the kid would always go and like play with the RC car and stuff. And I always wanted to go and do that because it was like a local show, and it was like a game show like in the 90s because game shows were the thing, right?
You know what? Now all you're making me think of is the fucking Toys R Us where you could win the fucking push the shopping cart through the toy store and like all that shit.
We still have Toys R Us in Canada.
We don't hear, but like that's like the biggest.
That's where I bought all my niece's toys for her birthday, like the other month. Yeah.
Okay.
I went to
I'm
Toys
going
R
to
Us.
say what I was going to say to you two, and I want you to take in context where it was going. I was going to say it was like kiddie porn, because that was like
what the fuck?
and then I realized what it was going to sound like, and then I stopped myself. Yeah, exactly. It was like, no, but like I meant more like their dream thing, and then I'm like, that is the worst way to. God, you're stupid, right?
But you
I get
still
what
have
you're
to,
saying.
Yeah. But yeah, it was. But that was like the ultimate. Like, oh my God, you know what I would go like. What aisles I would go down, and you're like, this is the best thing ever. Yeah, it was like
your dream.
It was like the Mega Millions for like adults, right? That's what it was.
I'm like the worst because looking back at those, I know which aisles I would have gone down, but my brain, being the way that it was growing up with what we had and stuff, my brain was like, just put your arm on the shelf and fucking run. You can sell shit. Let's go. Like, that was where my brain was. It was like, I would be like, I want to go down this aisle, but we're just going to wreck it. Fill it all. Like,
wreck it, Ralph.
Sell that shit. Buy a car or whatever. Buy health insurance because we didn't have it.
Man. Oh, yeah.
This got dark.
Just like the movie.
Yeah, I was gonna say, just like we're like, and then they poured the acid on the man's face. And
where do you just get acid? Like, seriously, like that?
Well, the best part about that, it looked like the Reanimator stuff, like or which is just like highlighter fluid, like basically, right? You're sitting there going,
I'd love to do Reanimator on the show. That'd be a good one.
Do Reanimator.
Yes.
Dope.
Dude, yeah, we'll do Reanimator at some point. It was just like
it's like,
I don't know.
That's where it's we even have some people that watch the show, the two people that do watch the show, saying like, you haven't done a foreign movie in a long time. And I'm like, well, it's a weird year. There's like a backlog. We're getting a tidal wave right now because there was a backlog of movies not being made. And then in the time when making movies was hard, everyone was like, well, low budget, low crew members, horror.
Yep.
Let's just fucking make a shit ton of horror. And we're getting that, like, we're reaping the benefits of 2020 right now finally there's some benefit to all this bullshit, and this is it. We're getting so much fucking awesome horror content, and it's too hard. So we would rather stay current because it helps chug along whatever. If I don't know, it used to, at least. I don't know if algorithms actually fucking care about being current anymore, or
well, I mean that, and we're sitting there going, we can watch all that stuff later. Like we were gonna watch all this shit anyways. We were gonna watch all this. Yeah.
We also live in a world where Jerry can't even fucking watch a movie before it comes out, before it gets spoiled. So yeah, we gotta stay ahead of those trolls too.
Yep, exactly. It's so much, man. But like, it also like grows and changes. Like because like Josh and I, like when we like started this, when I came to Josh, we want to do a lot of foreign and stuff, and we've gone around the world, and it's been like there's a lot of stuff to do, but like also your own things and like what your ideas of what you want to watch and all that shit, it just like changes over time. And we'll do more foreign horror. I mean, for fucking episode 100 we did fucking Let the Right One In, man.
Oh, so good. And honestly, like if it's up to me, it's a poster I want to do. I don't like, that's it. Like for me, it's like, I want to do that poster. Let's do it on the show. And that's how I choose movies now. It's like, fuck, I have a backlog of posters that I see, like the people that I look up to in the like alternate and alternative movie poster world. And I'm like, oh man, there's a lot of people checking off that movie's box right now for some reason. I don't know if it's coming up close to like a 30-year anniversary or something. So it's like, okay, I really want to see what I can produce for that movie as well, right?
Yeah. Yeah, man. And it's just like, there's like this year has been so like phenomenal for horror. Like it's just been like, it's hard to like resist talking about this stuff, because a lot of this stuff has been pretty like, we've gotten a Leatherface movie, we've gotten a Ghostface movie, we've gotten like now we've got another Michael Myers movie, and it's like all this stuff in this year, let alone another season of Chucky. We got a new Hellraiser movie. It's like all this stuff is like all our icons. The only it feels like the only ones sitting out now are fucking Freddy and Jason. Like they're the last ones like not doing anything. So there's a lot to talk about, and like hopefully we'll be getting a Jason movie next year. But
I fucking hope so, man. I really want Trick or Treat to come back. Like he said he would, but now it's like got into like, you know, this weird cult status and all that stuff. I went last night to it's called Pumpkins After Dark. It's like this huge display of like all these crazy pumpkins, and they've stacked them all up, and like here I'll whoop, whoop. That's Medusa.
No, that's
like
awesome.
It's a whole bunch of different pumpkins and stuff. Look at this Sam one, dude. I don't know if you can see that.
Wow.
That's amazing. Yeah.
They're freaking nuts, right? So yeah, I don't know. Like what the hell? So
that
crazy.
Is crazy.
It's amazing. Like you see it more and more because of the internet. Like there was like I think he was a Chinese artist who like made these giant intricate murals with like tearing paper and just like crazy shit. Like the resources people use to make art is just so bonkers. I mean, it's like digital art and like people doing all the stuff that was pretty awesome, Josh. And so like, yeah, there's a lot out there for that. What, Josh?
I'm just so ADD.
I know.
No, it's funny because my brain is like, oh, so when I was in middle school, I was in this art competition, and this girl made this like 5 foot tall, 3 foot wide self-portrait using just her thumb with ink. And so my brain was there, and I was like, wait, come back. We're not talking about that.
Man, it's okay. We're all over the place. I mean, well, the problem, okay, it's also like, I think that's kind of the thing about the VHS movies and all these, like especially for us, it's like, you kind of like have that weird amount of time to like attach to a story, and then like they're like kind of TV episodes. Like, what was there, like 5 in this, right? Mm-hmm. And so like I feel like sometimes it could be like harder to like completely remember everything for us. Like when we're but like,
I watched this twice and still don't remember much of the hell episode or the hell.
Yeah,
it was just funny. Like everything that happened to it was like a series of unfortunate events. It's just like, wait, what? We were just at this fucking stupid party. What's this? Ah!
Yeah, they seemed like the idiots who were like just the husbands of the witches or something like insane or like that, right? One guy's like, I'm just a husband, right? But dude, the fucking Spirit Halloween props in that made me laugh so fucking hard. Like I was like, when the guy was started killing people with what was obviously like a rubber axe thing, I was just losing it.
I liked the like weird trident thing that he had at one
point. It reminded me of like Tenacious D.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God. And then there were every single monster looked cheap in a hilarious way. Like then the demon that they're coming to was just a guy in a weird fat suit.
But that's where like that one especially reminded me of like what you see at like, you know, indie horror festivals and like film challenges and that type of stuff. Cause it's like you don't have enough time. There is no budget. Whatever your friends are willing to do is what you get. Yeah. And that one, like, that one just made me laugh and feel like almost like nostalgic because I've been in that world for so long. I appreciate those types of movies on like on a higher level.
Yeah. I mean, none of them had fancy anything. Like the coffin one was like
that was plywood.
The plywood and like they probably made a thing out of like glass and dirt and whatever to shoot that in, because then they had like the her and the other one coming in at the ends of all that, and they did all these things. But
they killed it though. That one was like polish, like for
dude, that's anxiety inducing. Like I never even watched that Ryan Reynolds movie Buried.
It was good. Like, that one was he killed that movie, man. It was really well done.
But
this one made me feel more claustrophobic than that whole movie did, though.
It's that shit, man. It's just like, it's like when you find people like in horror movies that were like, or like crime shows where they're like, they nailed their fingernails are missing because they like tried to claw their way out. That's why, I mean, that's why that Kill Bill 2 is so ridiculous. Like
I went straight there too, man. Like, 1-inch punch. That's all I think of when I go into a coffin. You just...
Also, those fucking cunts that did that to that girl, that they obviously wanted her to join the sorority, even though they were gonna fuck with her a bunch because she was joining the sorority, and then they don't come back for like 12 hours. Fuck you, bitches! It was like 10 o'clock when they ran away, and then they come back when it's fucking light. Fucking cunts.
They're like that's what I said. They are the worst people. Well, I don't know. Those kids from the Medusa one were pretty much the worst people too. So it's just like it's a whole bunch of shitty people.
And Medusa was just trying to hang out and like wash her car and shit, and like those fucking perverts. Be a hot Medusa, man. She just wanted to live her life, man. People had to come in and
I love when she took her hair off though. Like that one, that was dope. I loved that.
Yeah,
that was cool.
The when they're throwing the snake skin in that kid's mouth or putting it in his mouth. Dude, also keep going back to gross shit. Were they like throwing raw chicken at that motherfucker when like he was
no, it was gross.
Because it was like chicken wings, so I thought they were throwing raw chicken at him, and I'm like, and then they do the vomit, and it's just like,
yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like I'm not a huge fan of gross horror, like gross out horror, because it's just gross. It's not horrific to me. It's just well, I guess that is. I guess torture is horrific, but
that's like the punk rock one at the beginning with the idiot kids that were the jackass kids. Like I think they implied way more gore than they ever actually ended up showing, right? And then that was the first part, and it was like, oh my god, this is cheap as shit, even though I'm loving it. Like when they were throwing the body parts, and it was like obviously it was like, it was
I feel like the first one, what it did well, the other ones were lacking in. Like they built out the suspense in like a horrific way, and the sound effects and utilized that as horror, whereas the other ones all did the like cheap indie gross out thing instead. Yeah. And I like when horror is drawn out and lets you like sit in the unknown and anticipation and get scared and like build it up and like
it was also the most serious, right, of all of them. It was the most serious tone like throughout the whole thing, because the mom on the game show one was just like super villainy and like
she was like a superhero. No, super villain,
and
anti-hero.
Like, everyone else, I mean, all the kids were over the top with their like, I'm a super hacker in 1999, which is like when Hackers was coming out, and like obviously Medusa, but like it's like everything else had that like
Hackers
little
was 94, I
lightheartedness.
think. 95.
Was it later than that?
No,
okay.
95. I legitimately just rewatched it at work the other day.
So like there was like a lot of like that like really didn't have any jokes in it, like compared to the rest of them, right? It was like the most serious altogether. Because I mean, the only thing they just fucked with that one kid, right? Like, and that was
because I think that's what like grounded the movie, though. Like when you have a character that actually has a conscience and has a heart, it grounds it more in reality. Where like, I think every other short was a lot more just like everyone was shitty, except I guess the Medusa one had the brother who was like the more like
but he even was an asshole because he did it. He like implemented the fucking, even though the kids convinced him to. Also the fucking punk rock one, they also have the dark finish where the kid who left and didn't want to fuck with them
he still gets
like, they were like, oh no, you thought that kid got away? Nope. He didn't eat.
But I love how they made them like turn into zombies and play too. Like that. Yeah. I really loved that was the ending. I was like, that is such a like musician ending to make them all dead, and now they got to play for them.
They turned them into like Five Nights at Freddy's characters or something like that, like
awesome.
with like body parts. It's just like the when you have the 5 films and like the weird like lack of like connectedness because of the story arc. I'm just like, it takes me a second to go over them. Like I have to like,
you're like, ADD
kind of, and I have to recap them in my head because like we keep talking about like, you know, the game show one and like, but all of them are really good, and like I don't know,
I feel like
just want to make sure
the initial reviews and the initial like buzz that happened from 94 hasn't overly happened with this one.
Yeah,
like it's not. I don't know how to compare them because I haven't seen it, but I feel like 94 potentially is a better film than this.
It's more serious and it's higher budget. Like the budget like was obviously lower on this one. I mean, and so they really kind of embraced it, and they kind of like, we were talking about the gross out again and again, but like and that fucking the set with the like that she built in there. Like the Walmart like 101 that they went and did, you're like, yeah, the budget in this, and they didn't try to hide it, right? They didn't try to sell you that. They were just like, oh, look at this demon that it's obviously just a piece of rubber that's sitting here. Like they focus on the shit enough to like let you go, oh, okay. And I swear to God, they just put Satan in the Sky from After Effects or photo like Adobe something, or like it was just like.
Yeah, but real movies use that as well and do a really good job.
Well, that's true, but like, I don't know, man. It looked like
I laughed out loud when that happened. I was like, "Oh, that's so cheap looking." Oh fuck!
It was like they had put like, I almost felt like they had put like shelves from like empty Walmart shelves in like a warehouse, and like we're like putting the demons on them and spray painting them. And you know what I like they didn't do in this one, that like I feel like they didn't like break their cameras a lot in this one either. Like, you know, they usually, their cameras are always fucked up in these shorts, right? It's like they never make it throughout like the thing, and it's like they didn't really fuck up cameras too much in this one either, but in any of them really, but yeah.
Yeah,
but I think
I feel that too. I just like the old lady.
She was part of the Hell one, right? Like, was she?
Yep.
Am I? Yeah, that one was weird. All like how you like because the rituals going on in like the back room or something like that, wasn't it? Like if they were like at a party or something like that. I don't know, like with their 2000 glasses and all that shit.
I love the grandma. That the grandma was like, she had to make it on the poster because just that is so fucking good.
Dude, I just love that the demon lady was just like was a lady with like a cheap mummy costume, it looked like, and then they got her like the yellow teeth from Spirit Halloween, and that she was like, I am a what was it? She kept going, put me in the book like of witches or whatever. That was what I loved, how the guy got shot and he's like writing her name in the book because he said he was. I was like hoping it brought her back and she was like, you know, saved him or something like that. But oh man,
Trail off.
Oh no, it's because my monitor powered off and I was like, what the fuck? Like my one right here. So yeah, I don't know. I was like, click. It made the you know, turn off noise, but I think things are just dying in my setup. Who knows? I did like it a lot. I don't know the other thing about this that I would say that's weird compared to VHS 94. Like nothing iconic. Like I don't know if anything iconic is going to come out of this, like character wise. Like they had the Rat King in like 94 that's like everywhere still, like a year later. So like I don't think there's anything iconic to really come out of it. And I don't know if that's because they really don't have like, even like as soon as you saw the Medusa, they didn't have the budget to really show it, right? So like you don't have anything cool that really come. And Medusa is obviously an older character. I mean, an ancient character. So it's like I think that's a thing that's kind of a miss. And I don't know if it's like you need a character that like I don't know. I think it helps you connect like Sam and Trick or Treat and you know all that stuff.
Well, that's why we were talking about like you know Terrifier having like a new slasher like heavy hitter. They're still like destroying the box office, and they don't
it's coming back again this weekend.
It has to, like, you make that much money and there's that much demand, and like it's this marketing thing that is just, it's turned into something they didn't expect. And if you're not gonna like reap the benefits of it, then you're doing something wrong. So
they're showing it here.
Yeah, like I have to wait.
Shit.
Yeah, it's at 1,000 theaters this weekend, it said. Like, which is a lot. It's up to $5 million, and so like on a $250,000 budget, and it's so
that's
it's
awesome.
I mean, and it's Halloween weekend, right? So dude, it's because you know I don't know if you guys heard, like Halloween Ends had the biggest drop off or second biggest drop off of all time.
Well, everyone had pitchforks.
Well, no, you know what it is, and they made 60 something million the first time, but like people are gonna go back and see it. If like I think the hardcore Halloween people went and saw it, but like you could just watch it on HBO Max. Like like, it still made $60 million with it being on HBO Max like that first weekend. So like
pretty good.
People wanted to see it in the theater, you know. So I don't know.
I almost went to see it in the theater, but then I was gonna go and see it with my tattoo artist, but he was kind of busy, and then I just was like, what's on the fucking line? I'm literally like on my couch texting you, and I can just go like that and then be watching it. So I just did that.
But like what so you guys both, you said your favorite was the Suicide Pact one, the sorority one.
Yeah.
I think that I don't know. Probably actually the first one might be my favorite. The punk rock one.
See, now that I think more back, like I honestly, I don't know. Like, definitely the sorority one. Just I like the story of that one too. Like it was a nice package for this, like runtime, this type of movie. Like the story is like it almost felt like an episode of like Tales from the Crypt, and like, which was,
that was the most.
Yeah,
that was a super Tales of the Crypt-y kind of thing, right? Like,
but it was well executed, and I felt like everyone they cast was like perfect for it too. All the like snotty, like uppity girls from university that are too good for anybody, and
yeah,
it was good.
So, Ken, was that still your favorite though? Like,
yeah,
even though I hate spiders.
I think that one was my favorite because it made me, first of all, for me, it was the most memorable. And second of all, the first one was a little bit too jackass for me.
Yeah.
And like just a little too much over just kind of like, meh.
When they're like,
I like that group, but yeah.
Like, dude, I'm like, oh, fuck off.
That's why I like them getting, destroyed by the fucking punk rock ghost though. So.
Actually, the first death in that one was fucking awesome because you're at the like height of your just cringy hatred towards these characters, and then one literally explodes right after, and you're just like, yes.
Yeah. The hell one made me laugh though. So that like has a lot where like. And that ending for like how like goofy, like they kind of like had a Bill and Ted Excellent Adventure thing going there for a second. Like it's like Bill and Ted Go to Hell or something like that. Like, but that ending was dark, man. Like where they come back and they're like, they fuck over the demon, and they're like, he's like, we could do it again. He's like, well, you think we could just do this again? Because they're like of the exact circumstances to summon the fat demon guy, but. Yeah, I like those two a lot. All of them are entertaining. Like I said, I've said this a couple of times. Like that I wish the connecting story wasn't something about like a little kid playing. I kind of like the kid army man things, and then like you get the weird brother making like porn auditions or something. Like what does that kid do? He's like, you like that, don't you?
Do like these pythons? I was like, dude, fucking no.
Like, no, mama, come here, mom.
I'll take the oh fuck, Hot Pockets.
Yeah.
I love that they said Hot Pockets though, because like I grew up like. Not even like if you got like pizza pops or like whatever, but like Hot Pockets were like the smaller ones, and we could never find them. And I just felt like the marketing was so good. I needed to have fucking Hot Pockets in the 90s.
Either Hot Pockets have always been a thing where they either end up burning me, like burning my mouth, or
they're frozen.
Or they're frozen. There's like, it's like Antarctica or Satan's asshole. There is like no in between. Like, it's like, do you either A, want to burn yourself, or B, freeze yourself? Those are your two options. Anything else, not an option. So, but yeah, that was like, it was odd, and that was like the end of that. Like there was no like overarching story. But like everything else, it was like they did cool little stories, and like I hope they keep doing these. I assume that this one's going to be successful enough. I assume that Shudder is like our podcast where it will be like November 1st, their like subscription numbers drop by half because people are like got their like month of, horror movies, and they're like, no more. Okay, I'm going to go on to fucking Christmas, like Netflix's 87 Christmas romantic comedy Christmas movies.
It's October 31st, trick or treat, November 1st, all I want for Christmas is you. Like that's it. Like Mariah Carey is on the next day.
Even in America, where like Thanksgiving's coming, it is Christmas has nuked,
dude,
the in between.
I don't know.
It is Christmas fucking everywhere. I went to Dollywood on the 12th and they had Christmas decorations up. I went to Home Goods because they have like all this shit about all this Halloween stuff. Christmas. Our town starts putting Christmas decorations up earlier every year. They started in August this year. I'm over it already.
I don't like that they did like they my favorite day of the year, like I think it was 7 years ago, maybe 8 years ago, maybe longer, I don't know, was November 1st, because they used to have like Boxing Day blowout prices on November 1st for all the Halloween shit. Was like 75% off because they wanted to make room to then put out the Christmas stuff. But now it's like Christmas is literally just pushing Halloween out of the way now in all the stores. There's more Christmas beside Halloween, and it's going to be Halloween weekend this weekend. I hate seeing it. I hate it.
Yeah. And now they're not giving us the discounts on Halloween stuff either, because it's cool to be us.
It's cool to be us.
Like Halloween kids, yeah. Well, that, and like you wonder, like of all the holidays that got fucked by COVID, Halloween's probably pretty far up there, because like all the other ones, like parents are buying, like say Easter baskets, like for kids, like that probably didn't change all that much. Like unlike fucking Halloween, where you're like, it got just like trick-or-treating got destroyed by COVID, right?
I don't know, like because I did the haunt, or I do like the big haunt and stuff. I still put it up in 2020, but we just had like a whatever. Last year I didn't do it, but like all the other like bigger haunts in my area and stuff did the big tube,
the slide thing. Yeah, those were cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
I'm a horrible human, and then forget to have candy on. No, like we never get trick-or-treaters, so, and we've never been home on Halloween. And last year and the year before last year we got trick-or-treaters, and I gave them apples. I'm sorry. I immediately shut off the lights and locked the door and was like, I'm not home. I was so upset.
Did they egg your house?
No, but I felt so bad because like.
Did they apple your house?
I'm surprised nobody did.
I think one time we got candy and put it out, like and did everything, and we got like 6 trick-or-treaters because we live on a U street, and so there's no like point if like nothing's like on like kids.
See, I have like a big I have a big production, like big and like strobe lights and music and 4 different fog machines and 11 animatronics and a whole graveyard. It's the all out. So I think I run out of candy every single year because I'm the one that brings kids to the street. Like they'll walk past and they almost like don't come, and then they see that there's a production going on, so then they come down. And I think the biggest year was just under 300 kids. So
wow.
Dude, I have a fucking house by mine that like literally at Christmas time goes so insane that they broadcast Christmas music on the radio tower, like a little one, like that you have to be about. And it's like, I think they had like power company sponsors or some shit like that.
Oh, you have to. Yeah.
That's the neighbors over here. They do that. They go on to a radio station, and they do like this whole big thing, and they were side by side. Well, then they got into like a fight, and so now they do separate things. Then another friend of ours, their community, like their whole neighborhood would come together and run lights across the street and do all this stuff.
I love it.
One person had a fit, and now none of them do anything. They don't put a single thing out for any holiday. Because one person had a fit. But yeah, I mean, they do some pretty cool stuff.
Fucking Karens!
Fucking Karens. I wish they'd do more for Halloween.
Okay. Well, I think we could wrap up. Like it's Ken's bedtime. Ken, do you want to come back and do Terrifier 2 next week?
If I can get to see it. I have to go to Florida.
It's on something called Plex as well.
Oh, great. Well then yeah, absolutely. I would love to.
I haven't watched it yet, but I'm excited to because it's such a big deal. Are you going to Florida?
What?
I should be back in time. I land on Monday, so I should be back in time.
If you, you just posted in Discord, but yeah, we're gonna do Terrifier 2 next week. I figured, Josh, that was what you were. That was your end goal of.
Make sure you guys watch Terrifier 1 though. Like if you haven't seen it,
dude. Yeah. What did you think of the?
That was gnarly.
The hacksaw to the
oh
pussy.
My god, that was gnarly. Like
in one.
Yeah. It's I think people like talk about the bones Bone Saw or Bone Hawk, Bone Tomahawk. God damn it. I'm tired. Bone Tomahawk with Kurt Russell, where they split someone in half like that. But like with, I think the Terrifier one was, I remember that one that one burned into my memory way more.
The way they filmed it and layered the different angles, special effects, real shots, it all came together to actually make it more realistic in like the way it was filmed. Like it was indie, but that part was done really well. Cause especially when it's a gag shot, I always like watch it differently because I'm trying to decipher how it was filmed so I can like put that in my bag of tricks for when I do a gag. And that one was done really fucking well.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're invited if you're back and want to talk Terrifier 2. We can do that next week. Woo! Ken, just pimp all your stuff.
I love it. You can find me on, you did say promote myself, right?
Yes. I said pimp your stuff.
I'm awake, I promise. You can find me on twitch.tv/continue. It's KINTINUE. You can also find me on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and Fanhouse.
Oh, it says Jerry's okay still.
This is not me.
But this one is. Go hang out with Ken. She's awesome. So, Josh, we are joshwrba.com for Josh, murdermoose.com for us, Rod_Johnston on Twitch and Twitter. And I think that's all. Go follow our YouTube and do all the shit and give us a 5-star like rating wherever we are. So next week we return for Terrifier 2
on Halloween.
There will be we'll record on Halloween. Yes.
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
If it's actually Halloween, then I can't record on Halloween because I'll be
do it on
doing the haunt.
We could do it on Tuesday. We'll figure something out. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah. I just realized it was Halloween. So maybe we move it to a night later. I don't know. Okay, we'll figure something out. Okay, everybody. Yeah! Thank you for hanging out. We will catch everyone next week for Terrifier 2. So, bye!